Oh, and we're back. Season 3 Fuel or Crutch podcast. Let's talk about it. I'm going to give people a few minutes to log in before I bring on my guests. I appreciate everybody tuning in as always. If you got questions, of course, feel free to put it in the chat. I got a great show, got a great guest. I think people know Erin Howard, former Madison East basketball player. Recently graduated from Florida State. So I'm looking forward to this discussion, and then hopefully everybody have questions, tune in, and we're going to go back and do something different with the basketball piece. We haven't really had a chance to talk about the girl side of things, so I think this would be good. We were talking before, and she's got a couple of good things that she's got up her sleeve with players. So do the intro, and then we'll drop it. All right, so we back again. Fuel or Crutch podcast, season 3, kicking it off with Erin Howard. Erin, thank you for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So I've known Erin for some years. Like I think about back to when y'all all wore the Fuel or Crutch shirts after the Middleton debacle.
I forgot that.
So this was definitely great. I remember coming in and working with you guys with Coach Adams with some of those basketball practices. Definitely I remember he specifically wanted me to work one-on-one with Shayla just on her shot and the way that kind of catapulted her career as well. So Erin, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, where you grew up?
All right, well, yeah, if you don't know, from Madison, Wisconsin, grew up on the north side, lived here my whole life up until college. Went to Auburn my freshman, sophomore year for basketball down in Alabama. Then I transferred to Florida State my junior year, played there my junior year, my senior year, and then my grad year, got my master's degree. But yeah, I'm from Madison, grew up here, was raised here, been here my whole life up until college, and just moved back home actually like 2 months ago now.
So how's been the transition coming back home?
It's been a transition. It's getting easier now, I would say. At first, it's a little tough. Obviously, living on my own or having like a friend as a roommate for 5 years is nice, but then come back home living with my parents has been an adjustment. It's cool though. My parents are cool and laid back. It's different though. Obviously, play basketball my whole life, so my career is like done now by choice, really. Um, Transitioning into the work world is pretty crazy, but it's been cool. I'm happy to be home finally. I've been gone for 5 years, so it's nice to catch up with people and everyone here. So
Cool. So jumping into things, I like to do a little bit of icebreakers or whatnot. So $1 million question. Two players. Who do you prefer? Deladon or Candace Parker?
I gotta go Candace Parker because it's Candace Parker. But now, current day, Deladon. Candace Parker, she's getting kind of old. It might be time for her to hang it up.
Fair.
Yeah.
Let's go. Brianna Stewart
Stewie.
or Tarasi?
Stewie. Brianna Stewart. I got to. But I grew up with okay, I grew up with Tarasi, but I don't know, like that UConn team is like what made I love basketball, but that UConn team really did it for me. Like they won 4 natties, and Brianna Stewart, she's just such a well-rounded player, and I feel like my game's more similar to hers than Tarasi. So, gotta go with Stewie.
Stewie's tough. Stewie
Yeah,
is tough.
yeah. And was she like
She's different.
24? Yeah, exactly.
Um, so What was your career dream as a kid?
What was my career dream? I think honestly to play like college basketball. Probably the WNBA as it got like more popular, but when I was a kid, it wasn't really popular. Then probably some crazy thing like a doctor, some in there too. But I definitely know I had like a dream of playing college basketball.
That's real. So how much how what was the importance of education for you growing up?
Very important. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if my parents instilled it in me, but I think they did because I got to a point where like my parents never had to be on me about, oh, you need to get good grades, you need to do good in school, don't fool around. Like I knew that was like common sense to me. So like I got to honestly all throughout like once I touched high school, there was no Aaron, you need to do this, Aaron, you need to do that. I feel like just from a young age, like education was a big part of my life. And both of my parents have college degrees. My dad has his master's degree. My dad was the president of the school board in Madison, though. Every from what middle school throughout my high school days. So like couldn't really mess around in that case. But nah, it's been important to me my whole life. And I've never had anyone have to get on me about my grades. It just came naturally, even throughout college. Like I was on the dean's list my whole grad school, I think most of my undergrad at Florida State. So yeah, I don't know. It was a big part, very important to me. But I think it also came with like within like I wanted to get my degrees. I wanted to do good in school. So
Oh no, that's super cool. And you may not feel like they hounded you about it, but with your dad being on the school board, it was kind of like
yeah, that's said enough.
the pressure without the pressure. Right? That said
Exactly.
enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so when did you realize that you had like a true like gift when it came to basketball? How early on did you know?
I mean, I knew I was good in like middle school, but I don't know. A true gift? I don't wanna say middle school because, like, I'm so young, like, do I really understand that I can do something with basketball? Probably high school, freshman year, 8th grade going to freshman year, that's probably when I really understood that I was pretty good at basketball.
So outside of practice, how much time did you really put into like owning your craft throughout high school? Because I don't think really people really understand the work that has to go into it outside of practice. Because I feel like just going to practice is bare minimum.
It's crazy because after playing college, looking back, I feel like I didn't spend any time in the gym because in college, I'm in the gym. I'll work out 4 times a day. Like, I kid you not, I'll go in the morning for a rehab/treatment, and I'm sweating. That's a whole workout itself. And then go back for like weights and conditioning, then practice, and then I'll go shoot. Like I'll really like have like 3 or 4 workouts in a day. So it's like looking back, I don't feel like I was in it obviously as much as I could have been. But I don't know. I feel like a decent amount of time, and then I play for a really good AAU program, very successful program. So I feel like that obviously calculated a lot of the time because most kids, or not most kids, but a lot of kids don't play AAU, especially or they play for like a local team. Not knocking them, but like they don't play for the highest level AAU program. But I definitely say I spent a decent amount of time outside of like practice and stuff. But I definitely think I could have spent more time.
Hey, it was expensive though. And so I completely
Unfortunate.
understand a lot of people not playing.
Yeah. And that's what kinda
Um,
sucks about the world.
so do you feel like you had a lot? Well, one, your parents were influences. Do you feel like you had some outside influences that were like super influential in helping you grow up, or as you were growing up?
I really feel like my family was the main influence, and then I mean, like, I don't know, what they say, it takes a village to raise, like, whatever, like, I really believe in that because I feel like
Yep.
everyone in Madison is so close to this day, like, coming back and playing at Wisconsin this year was the coolest thing of my life, like, I was telling everybody, I'm like, "I can't even tell y'all, like, it's gonna be hundreds of people at the game," and they're like, "What?" Like, we go to their place, like, Georgia or, like, Alabama or something, they're like, "I'm gonna have 20 people coming." I'm like, "20?" Like, if we go to Wisconsin, I'm about to have the whole stand is gonna be for me, like, so I think that I don't know. I think it really takes a village. So yes, my parents and my family was the biggest influence in my life, but I think all the adults that like were around me and the coaches I've had, I think they all played a big role into how it turned out.
and it was super cool seeing you come back and play, and literally not just the coaches that coached you, not just the fans that came and watched you.
Yeah.
The teams brought their teams.
Yeah, it was crazy. I can't lie, it was crazy.
And
And then my friend told me the other day, the Wisconsin coach got on the mic after the game, like, "This is the most fans we ever had. I just want to thank you." I'm like, "Girl, them fans are for me." Like,
and then afterwards, it was cool because they allowed you to have time to to meet,
yeah,
mingle, and take some pictures with the kids. So that was
right.
pretty cool too.
Yeah,
Not everybody
definitely.
gets that experience to come back home.
Yeah, no, definitely. They was trying to get me to do like media after the game, and then my coach was like, "She's not coming." I'm like, I didn't even. I showered and stuff. I heard it, put my clothes on, and then I went up where everyone was at. I'm like, the media will not see me today.
Right. No, yeah. That was super cool, and just being able to see people there, and people might have had Badger gear on, but they were rooting for you every time you took a shot.
Yeah, right, right.
Um, so talk about the recruitment process. I've been wanting to talk to somebody about it in general, just because not everybody get that experience, and then some that do don't even really understand what's coming.
Yeah, you can't understand what's coming. Well, like, what about? I think it's definitely different now than what it was because of NIL, and the
Right.
whole college landscape has changed so much. But it was, I mean, I was recruited pretty decently. I wouldn't say I was like the biggest recruit ever, but like it was busy. It could be overwhelming at times. I think when I transferred from Auburn to Florida State, that's when it was like every school was reaching out. So I think that was like a way crazier experience than my initial um recruitment. But it's a crazy process. It's like it's pretty cool, I would say. A lot of people reach out. You have conversations with a lot of people. Obviously a lot of rules you have to follow and abide by, but I don't know, it was cool. It was overwhelming at times, like I said, but the whole experience was cool and grateful for it all, of course.
How hard was it to tell other schools that you had an interest in? Like, nah, I'm making a decision to go somewhere.
Yeah. So well when I transferred, I didn't really have to do that. Like I committed or like I'm grown at that point. Like coaches know what it is. Like they're like, like, and I have relationships with some of the coaches, like Penn State, for instance. Like me and Coach Keeger, she was recruiting me. She wanted me to come to Marquette when she was there. Like, so I was talking to her, and then like Coach B was at Marquette with her, and like she's at I forgot what school now. But I was talking to all them. They're like, Aaron, like just be real with me. Like, do you know where you're going? I'm like, yeah. Like I already know. Like just out of respect because we already have a relationship. So that was like
Right.
easier. But initial, like I'm what 17, 18. Like I gotta call these grown adult coaches. Like I'm just it was okay. Like some coaches handled it a lot better. Some were actually pretty disrespectful and mean
Oh
about
wow.
it, I could say. Yeah, yeah. But most of them were fine, but there was a couple that didn't handle it like adults. So that was a
And
little
see, that's the other piece that I don't think us as fans or people that didn't have a heavy recruitment process
right.
realize. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy that these grown adults would feel some type of way and be nasty and disrespectful to a kid.
exactly. Like I rushed my decision. I don't think you made the right decision. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna call you back tomorrow. I'm like, don't call me back. I won't answer. But okay. Yeah, it was crazy.
So ultimately, you chose Auburn. What was behind Auburn? Was it the coach, the culture, the atmosphere, the campus?
It was all of it. I thought the coaches were cool. I thought the coaches were cool. Um, I love the campus. I would send my kids to Auburn. It's crazy. I love Auburn so much, like outside of basketball. Football, I'm a big football fan, huge football fan. So like SEC football, and I don't even think I truly understood what SEC football was until I got on campus and got down south. That was a big decision, and like I know I have a life outside of basketball, and I wanted the full college experience, and like not
Mm-hmm.
to knock the school, but like I was considering Marquette a lot in the end. Like my best friends go there, but like it's just a smaller school. They don't have football. It was here. I'm like I don't really want that out of college, so that was like the main reason. Then obviously SEC basketball was at the time was the best. I would say best conference across the country is still arguably SEC, ACC now. So those are really the top decisions. And then I was down there like 2 or 3 times. I just loved it.
Now tell people, because people didn't believe me when I told them that
Yeah,
Alabama Auburn football game.
I never
They are
went.
camping out. But you saw the campers on campus
Oh,
for a
that's
week in
not just
advance?
Alabama, Auburn. That's every game. Trailers, RV, it's every game. They started on like the game Saturday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Our whole it's like our all the athletic complexes are right next to each other at Auburn. So it's like our gym and then the football stadium's like right there, and there's like a big parking lot like kind of in between the two. That whole parking lot is designated to RVs and stuff. Then you drive down the street like kind of off campus, but not really. Everything at Auburn's really on campus. Like the whole it's just everywhere you look, RVs, all the roads blocked off. It was crazy.
So, so when I was in school down in Alabama, one of my high school teammates and classmates, Lewis Monroe, went to Auburn,
Okay.
and Lewis used to give me tickets to come to the basketball game, so I would come. But one day, they were doing like some like media thing for like signing autographs during the football season, and so
Yeah.
I was up there visiting, and he forgot that they had to go, and it was Auburn versus Tennessee. So
Big game.
so I'm up there, and the coach was like, "Hey, Lewis, just give him your jacket." And so he gave me the jacket. I zip it up, and he literally was like, "Just tell everybody you're a recruit." So I'm literally up there. There's kids or they're adults now that have probably my autograph on a poster because I was signing autographs, and they told me to as if I was a recruit. But just
That's
that
fun.
game was so intense, and how crazy it was with people and just packed, but it was super
Yeah.
live.
It was so much fun. I was the biggest Auburn fan. I still am an Auburn fan, but like I flew it popped up in my memories like yesterday, 2 days ago. I flew to Dallas when they played Oregon, the first game my sophomore year. Like I was a big football fan, still am. But yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely an experience.
So let's pivot a little bit. So what was the kind of the determining factor when you knew it was time to make that decision to transfer out?
Um, it was a lot. It's gonna keep it short. The coaches were not who I thought they were, and there was a very, very negative and toxic environment for the whole team. Like 8 of us left in 1 year. So yeah, I'll just say that.
So so you can definitely say that a coach will tell you everything they need to get you there, and then once you're there, it'd be a different experience.
100%. That's why when I transferred, like I didn't really okay, like I cared what the coaches said, but like not really. I did my outside research. And I hit up players on the team, all of that. Like my last two was Florida State and Ohio State, and I was really considering Ohio State. But I reached out to a girl, Kirsten Bell. I think you know who that is, right?
No.
Kirsten Bell. She on the Aces now, but she was at Ohio State, transferred
Oh,
to
okay.
FGCU. Yeah, but she plays for the Aces now. She was transferring at the time, so I hit her up like, "What's going on? Like, why are you leaving?" And she like kept it real with me. So yeah, they'll definitely tell you what you want to hear, not the truth though. And that's not all of them, but
So
the
do
majority.
do the due diligence. Talk to the players, the coaches, to make sure both stories line up.
Yes, like really reach out to players and like even like I was lucky enough like when I was transferring and like I was thinking of Florida State, like I was doing like an exit meeting at Auburn and one of the administrators that like I had a good relationship with was like, "Oh, Coach Sue, she's amazing, blah blah." And I never heard anything bad about her. And then like you can tell when someone's genuine. So
Right.
yeah.
Cool. 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 So what your major? Because you got your master's degree too, right?
Yeah, I did. I didn't take any pictures, so no one knows, but I did.
So go. So what was your undergrad and then what was your grad?
So I got my undergrad and my grad in sport management. Florida State had like a dual program, so like you could graduate with your bachelor's degree with already 12 of the 36 credits towards your master's degree. So I was able to. I only
Oh,
had
wow.
9 because they messed up a class, but then I was able to take like a one extra class this fall semester, and then I graduated this past spring with my master's in sport management. So
Cool, cool, cool. So, $1 million question is, what are you going to do with that? I know the toughest part is once you graduate, moving and finding a job. I know you've got one,
yeah,
but to get into your field,
yeah.
do you have some ideas on what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open. I want to work in college or professional sport, but more on the business side. I don't want to work directly like, okay, professional, I would work directly with a team, but like, I don't want to go be a basketball or director of basketball operations right now, or like be a coach. I don't want to coach. After playing college basketball, God bless them, I would never coach in my life, but more on like the business side. Like, yeah, it's crazy, but more on like the business side, I would say. I don't know exactly what yet, but definitely want to be college or professional, either basketball, preferably, or like I'll be open to working football too.
You did say you got a love for football, but you said you
Yeah,
would not, you don't want to coach college. Does that mean that there is some high school hope?
maybe, but like if I did it, it would really just be for fun because I don't know, like coaching, I would want to coach at the highest level, and I think college basketball is the coolest thing there is in this world. So I like if I really wanted to coach, I would want to go coach Division 1 Power Five. It's about to be Power Two, but Power
Okay,
Five. But yeah,
not mad at that. Not mad at that. But if you guys are looking at somebody to come and help, there you go.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'll consider it.
um, what kind of advice would you give someone that kind of like their dreams like the way you went after yours?
Really, you can do anything you put your mind to, and I've learned that. I went and talked at East not too long ago, and I literally told them that. Like people say that, and people think it's cliche, but like no, you can do. Like okay, you have to have some support. I will say that, and everyone doesn't come from the same place, so I don't want to say anybody like knowing people's circumstances, but if you have the support and like the finances and all that, like you can really do whatever you want to do. If I wanted to be a doctor, I could be a doctor right now. If I wanted to be a nurse, if I wanted to be a lawyer, I literally could have done it. Like you can really do anything you want to do. So don't let anyone tell you can't do something or can't be anything because it's not the truth at all.
Love it. I don't know if you remember, but I remember there was the summer I think going into your senior year, I was working out with my daughters and you were working out or whatever, and then we stopped, talked, and you were like, "Come on, let's go through some drills." And I
Hmm.
remember asking you, "What is your goal?" And you said, "I wanted to be the one of the best players in the conference." And I was
Hmm.
like, "Why?" And you were like, "Because like that's what I want to be." I was like, "But you're already that. So what are you going to do to get yourself ready so you can be on the court as a freshman?" And it like you took a second. It was like I never thought about it that way. And
Yeah,
like that was when we started talking about the footwork to make your shot get it off a little quicker, just
yeah,
because defense is a lot quicker and stronger at the next level.
yes, they are.
So like, so is there anything that you would tell the kids about paying attention to like details? Because right now, so many kids are just going off pure talent and not necessarily worrying about some of the fundamentals anymore.
Yeah. Um, I would say be consistent in whatever you do. If you have a certain way you shoot, certain footwork, I would say be consistent because reps is a big thing in basketball, especially like shooting. Whatever you do, reps is very important. So you want to be consistent in whatever it is you decide that's best for you.
If you hadn't have gone to, or like if you hadn't have played basketball in college, would you have gone to another school?
I don't think I would have landed at Auburn or Florida State. I probably honestly, because finances, I probably would have been at Wisconsin because going to school out of state is crazy, or like a Midwest school, but probably ended up at Wisconsin.
Fair enough. And
Yeah,
like your friends went all over, right? Because I know
all over,
one
all over. A
one was
lot
in
of them were down
Tuskegee,
there with
right?
me. Yeah, I had
Yep.
three of them. My best friends went to Tuskegee.
Because
Two of them
Tyler
just
went
graduated.
down to Tuskegee, right?
Tyler, Trinity, and Tashana. So three of my best friends literally were 25 minutes from, not 20 minutes from me in Auburn, which was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so how important was your circle, or how important was your inner circle from high school, and like how tight are you guys still, if you
Tight
are?
as yeah, tight as can be. Like my best friends are still my best friends. Will be my best friends for the rest of my life. Obviously, you gain friends and you lose some on the way, but like the people who are meant to be in my life, I would say are still in my life. So that was very important. Having like a very solid group that supports me all throughout.
where you got that, so that part, you guys support each other. Did you guys encourage each other when you got down? I know you probably
Yeah.
talked with them prior to leaving Auburn because you guys were 20 minutes away. How was that?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like okay, my best friends, they're not really Tyler played basketball, but other than that, like they don't really understand sports. So I feel like I don't know, everyone in life, like you gotta know who you can like talk to about anything. Like of course I could go to them and talk about basketball, but like it might not be the most beneficial for me. But they definitely supported me in everything. And when I transferred, I definitely was telling them like I'm considering leaving. And so yeah.
So we always talk about the academic pieces of sports or or college and the actual sports part of it too. Talk Can you talk about the fun part, like the social part? Because I've talked to these kids in high school who are talking about how much, how live high school is, and I'm like, there's
They
another,
don't
like, if
know
this is the highlight of your life, this ain't it.
at
Like,
all.
so talk about like the fun part of college, because everybody gonna beat over the academics and the importance of it, but go ahead and like
Yeah.
talk about the social aspect.
It was fun. Like Auburn was a very small town. It was small. It was definitely a college town. Like if you live in Auburn, you're there for the university. So it was still fun. We had this one bar called Sky Bar that we would go to. Like you always go there. Like you would have a house party. But Florida State, that's where it was fun at because it was three schools all within like 5 minutes of each other. It was us, and then we have FAMU. So we get the whole HBCU experience, HBCU homecoming, all of that, and then we had a community college, so there was so many college kids in it. There was so many clubs. Like every artist came to Tallahassee, and like the place they come to is called Baja's. It's a club. It's literally right behind my house. So like it was so much fun, and then like just hanging out with like all the other athletes and stuff. It was very cool. It was fun. I can't lie.
So how tight were y'all, like, as a team? Like, I'll say when I was down there, Auburn's football team was like its own gang.
Uh-huh.
They were
I'll
always
say
together. They was always fighting together too.
I've heard some stories. Nah, well at Auburn, every team has like who they hang out with, but I would say at Auburn, all the athletes were cool. I could go to a volleyball girls room. I go to football, basketball, soccer. I had every like everything, every friend. I had baseball, softball. Literally to this day, I could probably like hit up at least one of them from every team. Florida State, I transferred during COVID, so like I kind of got there at
Uh,
a tough time, and then like I was growing up too. Like I'm not a freshman. I'm not about to be kicking it every day, hanging out. And then I'm getting older, junior, senior. I'm not about to be kicking it around freshman. It's different when you're a freshman kicking it with a senior. I'm not about to be no senior. Even a junior or definitely a grad student. I didn't leave my house this past year. I'm not about to go kick it with a freshman, sophomore. Like you too grown, like too old for that. It's two different worlds. I'm about to enter the real world. Y'all are entering like the funnest part of your life. But Florida State, I had like don't get me wrong, I had friends in other sports, but and like my team was pretty cool and pretty close. I had a bunch of different teams. A lot of people transfer in and out, but we were pretty cool and close still with all the athletes. So
well, you hit on something, but you ain't hit on it. I'm going to ask you, how important is time management, like the difference between the stuff you did as a freshman and what you did as a senior? Just because I remember freshman year trying to sleep every time I had a break because I was out
yeah,
up partying all night. So just like speak to the importance of time management and getting a routine.
I think it's very important. Obviously, especially like you have to do well in school. You have to meet a certain requirement to be eligible. So I think it's a learning process and like a you have to grow in it. You definitely have to prioritize things. Like you have to prioritize basketball in school. Like that's why I'm at both of these universities. But honestly, to me, it got easier as I got older. I will say it depends on your school too. At Auburn, they I couldn't breathe. I had something to do from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Florida State, I had so much free time. So like I think that plays a big factor into it too, like what school you're at and the circumstances you're in. But it's definitely very important. You have to prioritize and make sacrifices. So
So, now that you've kind of transitioned out of the college athlete life and into the adult world, what has probably been the biggest surprise?
Taxes. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say yet, honestly. I don't feel like anything has really surprised me too much yet, in all honesty. I feel like I'm pretty aware of the world and the way it works more than some others, but I don't think I've really had a big surprise yet. Just like, I don't know, like fine, I'm gonna have to find another hobby and something to keep me busy, but I think I've been doing that more lately. So
Okay. If you could go back and tell your 9-year-old self something, what would you tell your younger self?
mm, kind of what I said earlier, you can do whatever you want to do in this world and don't listen to anybody who wants to be negative. And I don't know, also like, I don't know, as a kid, like, I don't know, you think certain stuff is cool and stuff, but like them kids that was cool or whatever back in the day, they are the ones out in the world now just like not doing it
Probably not
right.
doing
So
nothing.
just stick by like yo, be who you are and like it's gonna work out. Do what you want to do, really.
And so that's the other piece. Like, I think that one of the biggest things that's missing with the kids of today is they don't know who they are, like to who they are to their core. They're so used to, I don't want to call them followers, but like they haven't spent time enough to get to know who they are and what they really like, so they can know
Yeah.
what they should do, what they shouldn't. So
Yeah.
that's huge. Is there any tips that you would probably give to help someone to learn who they are?
Get off social media. But honestly, like I feel like social media plays a big factor in that. Everyone wants to learn the newest TikTok dance. So now they dedicating 5 of their hours of their life every day to TikTok. Like how can you really find yourself? But honestly, a younger kid, I don't know. Honestly, get off social media. Like put your phone down and figure out what you like to do. Like in all honesty, find a good group of friends, not a group of friends that are gonna get mad at you when you want to do what you want to do. Like find a good group of friends and you don't have to be like the next person.
Nope, that's real. I love it. Um, and so I know you've come back or you've been back from time to time on the summers. You saw like Julian had his block party.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to do to kind of like give back, whether it be in mentorship, getting involved with programs or or tutoring, or just what is there anything that you have in mind?
I mean a couple things. I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about like running like a basketball camp here. I feel like I should have done it if I was gonna do it already, but that has been in my mind. I feel like that would be kind of cool. I could see myself helping out with like East or like coaching a little bit. Like I love basketball. I always love basketball. So I don't see myself ever like not being around the sport in some way. So really those two, maybe running a camp eventually or something, and then the coaching maybe. But other than that, I don't know yet.
I
Doing what
think
I
the
can.
camp I think the camp idea is super dope because I don't know if we've had a woman come back to run camps for the youth.
Yeah,
Now, some of the guys have, like Braylon just did one. Leslie
right.
has done one, done some before. But I can't remember a woman coming back afterwards and running a camp.
Right. No, I don't think honestly no. And like I just graduated, so like this would be my time to do it. So
So, growing up, did you nothing in life just comes easy all the time? So, like, were there some struggles that you had to overcome or obstacles along the way that you had to navigate to get to where you are today?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like everyone goes through little things when they're younger and stuff, but I can't really say I went through anything crazy when I was younger. I was blessed to have a good family and fortunate enough for them to be able to support me in many different ways. But I don't know, I guess politics of basketball, I know that got crazy in high school. That wasn't fun. It took a lot of the fun out of it. And I
The
think,
politics.
yeah, high school throughout college, that's you grow up and you realize a lot of different things. So I feel like that's one thing I probably had to jealousy in politics was pretty big.
So before we get into the spicy stuff with basketball in the area, I've got
Yeah.
to give a shout out to Crystal Johnson. She's been my sponsor. She's got these Jolly Rancher drinks. They're alcohol infused Jolly Rancher drinks, but she's been a sponsor. So I told her I always shout her out. And at the bottom, you can see her CJ's Candy Refreshers in her email. You can reach out to her. She actually does parties as well. Like if you have a party that you're doing, she will cater it with the alcoholic beverages, even has Jello shots. So shout out to Crystal Johnson, and thank you again for being a sponsor. But now the fun part, Erin, I was nice enough to give you a heads up. I wanted you to tell me, just when it comes to like your time in the Big 8, I want you to make up your starting five.
All right. Well, I know me and Lay are on that team. I'll leave Lay at the 3, so I guess Leilani could play the 3. I'll play the 4 because it's really the same. Like I said, I don't know who that girl was from Middleton. And I hate my pride. I would never put a Middleton girl on my team, but there was a shooter my freshman year. That girl, oh my God, one of the best shooters I probably ever played. I would put her shooting guard, point guard. I'm not gonna lie, I love Kalina. I'll take Kalina. I'm not gonna lie, like Kalina.
Oh,
pass
okay.
first, selfless. That was my girl. Like that, I told her,
Bentley,
I'm like,
right?
yeah, I told her like after I graduated, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna miss playing with everyone, but like I'm generally gonna miss playing with you. Like you played the right way, and like I think props to Rudy because that was probably a big part of that. But Kalina, I don't know if I had that girl from Middleton. Me, Lay, a 5.
Who was a big that was a problem?
I probably got to go with one of the Verona girls. Probably a Verona girl. Maybe like great. I don't know. It's so crazy because after playing college basketball, I look back like, yeah, but maybe a Verona girl, yeah. Like my sophomore year, they were good. They won state. So maybe like Grace Mueller, like Kira. I was taking one of them. Yeah. And they're big. They're like 6'3", 6'4". So gotta have
Where did
height.
Grace play? Because that name sounds familiar.
I don't know where she at. Maybe she played for Wisconsin for a year. I'm not quite sure.
I feel like that's why the name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shooting guard? I don't know. I can't take Middleton. I'm trying to think.
Listen, I don't. If anybody knows that girl's name, put it in the comments because Erin said she can't stand it. That girl was shooting lights out enough where she still had to give her credit.
I did. I can't think of like a. Dang, I don't know. Lay, the girl, Kalina. I don't know. Maybe Deja Memorial for some defense or something. I don't know who's at that shooting guard spot. I don't know.
I mean, that's a tough 5.
Yeah.
So now that you're back, who are a couple of girls that you're looking forward to seeing now that you're back that you've heard about?
Elena for sure. That's my girl. Obviously I'm good friends with Ant, so definitely Elena. I gotta go check out Taylor and Regan. I definitely gotta go watch Verona a little bit. Those 3 are my main for real. I can't really, those 3 in all honesty.
Yeah, I got a chance to see. Shout out to all of them because I'm excited. I think this year is going to be a special year. I got a chance to see Elena this summer. I feel like she took her game to another level on top of playing with some high level kids as well. I got a chance. I had saw Taylor play. I had heard about her, but I'd never seen her play. But that's when she got hurt. Then I saw her play at the Badger Elite Camp, and I was like, oh, she's different. It makes sense why everybody's talking about it.
Her vision is crazy.
And then you got Reagan, and Reagan just gets out and scores. She's just like an energizer runner. She never slows down, just keeps going.
Yeah.
But
she's one of those players that like does
Taylor's vision is yes. And then Taylor, I told people, I said a skill that is overlooked. I mean, because of course she's known for her vision and being able to set people up. She's an amazing rebounder.
Yeah,
She
she
rebounds
is.
really, really well.
Yeah, and she has decent size. Like she's not a skinny little scrawny girl, which will help her at the
No,
next
no,
level.
yeah, and she'll throw her weight around. She'll use
Yeah,
her body on you.
yeah, she will.
Uh, so because you got to play at the highest level in college basketball, who were some of your toughest opponents? Like somebody that you had to guard, or you were like, man, please don't switch me. I don't want to be on an island with this one.
Man, look, a lot, but I'll just say one right off the bat. Diamond Johnson, that girl right there got some that. Oh my God, her handles are crazy. She played for NC State. She just transferred again, but
Okay.
NC State. We played at them ACC tournament my senior year, so not my grad year, but the year before. Somehow I get switched on to her. I promise you, she would have dropped me. I'm humble enough to say her handles, and she this tall. Like I just say back. She shot a three, made it. Game was over anyway. I said, "Girl, go ahead. I'm not gonna come out there and guard you." But I would say Tierra McCowan when I was at Auburn, we played that stupid zone. I couldn't. Me in the back line, it's two people in the back line. We couldn't do anything with her. That girl is big, like she's huge, 6'7", 6'8", thighs like this thick. There was nothing I could do in my little scrawny freshman body. Um, who else? Eh, there's so many like one-on-one guards. I would say like Jada Boyd from NC State. She was challenging. I think this past year I did a phenomenal job guarding her. But I would say my junior year, yeah, like my defense wasn't the best, but I will say I like take pride. I think I had a really good defense this past year. But Jada Boyd, obviously Haley Van Lith, all of them girls. Emily Angsler, she killed me. She embarrassed me. That's another one that I'll say that was hard. She was hard to guard. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So who are some of your favorite teammates? Florida State and Auburn.
Auburn, Robin, and Brooke. Auburn or Robin Ben. She transferred to Kentucky when I transferred. She just graduated. She just went to Spain. Actually, she's got there, or she's about to leave in like the next week or two. I talk to her all the time. And then Brooke Moore. She transferred to Purdue and then Ole Miss, but she got in an accident, so she actually had to stop playing. And then Kaye White, she coaches at CSUN now. Those are probably my three from Auburn, and then Florida
And that's
State.
where Keontae is.
Yeah, she coaches on the girls' side, so I told her he
Okay.
came out there. Yeah. Um, Florida State, Tiana England. She had to stop playing too, medical reason, but that's my one of my best friends now. She's from Connecticut, transferred down there from St. John's. Um, Taylor O'Brien, that was my roommate this past year. That's my girl. Tanaya, just because she's the national freshman of the year, so like it was cool. It was cool playing with her, like really
And
cool.
who was that? The freak athlete, the post player that was
KK,
just like,
that's
oh
my.
my god,
She's gonna have a crazy year. I'm very excited to watch her. So
she.
KK,
I'm
Lottie, all
literally
of
just watching her, and I'm just like, this girl is a freak athlete.
just she got most improved player last year in the ACC. So she's about to be a
And I
junior
was like,
now,
I was like, you could tell she's still learning the game, but she's just such a raw freak athlete.
and she's so like I won't call her quiet, but she's so humble. Like I don't know, KK, she's ridiculous. She's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Cool. Well, we will kind of wrap this up, but for me, it's just one of those things. Like, what is a hidden jewel that you would love to share with somebody? Like, if you were going to speak to a middle school group tomorrow, what would be outside of the that you can be and do whatever it is that you want? What is another like gem that you would give to someone?
I would say be a good person in whatever you do in any area of your life because I think that goes a long way. There's no need to be a bad person or a jerk out here. The world's hard enough as it is, but also like everybody knows everybody. And I've learned that like connections are a big part, especially in the real world. And like I know for me, like sports. So you never know who knows who. You might run into someone at the gas station and you're upset you were a jerk to them, but then that's the person hiring you for a job. Like the world really works like that. So I would just say be a good
It really
person and whatever.
It really does, which is why I had this on there with the importance of networking and branding. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's down in Georgia. Hopefully he's not listening to this. I will not say his name, but he told me a story about when he was a hothead in undergrad playing basketball in intramurals. And he's arguing with somebody, getting into it with somebody. And he literally, when they told him to get out the gym, he takes his jersey off, throws it in his face, and he leaves. Mind you, he said this was in 2003. He said maybe 15 years later, he gets he has a degree in sports management or whatever, recreation management. And he goes to apply for the job at the school that he graduated from. Mm-hmm. The person that came to collect his resume was in the gym that day when he did it, and he said he didn't even get an interview.
That's
so like you said,
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out to Roy checking in, East Side. So no, I super appreciate you logging in and talking and sharing your story and what's next for you as you still figuring it out. But enjoy your new job. You'll have stories at all times. Yes. $1 million question. Did Dennis get you that or help you?
Of course. That's my dad's best friend.
Yep. So Dennis was my coach in middle school. So when I graduated from high school and came back, he was like, hey, let me know when you want to do some real work, because I was working at the juvenile shelter home.
Dennis is my dad's best friend.
So yeah, shout out to Dennis. I saw Dennis Friday. So yeah, shout out to Dennis. Love Dennis. So definitely appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, be on the lookout for the next one for episode 2. Have a good night.